need to try to make this simple, but the engineering is not really that simple. But if we use patterns and we follow a consistent process, usually our outcome will be just fine. And this piece here is a pattern that can be traced on cardboard, something that's flexible. Will be the back and the sides of the shell, right there. This we'll go ahead and use as a front piece, like this, when we start the first layer of the shell. And that actually allows the front and the back to go together, and they go together and they're fastened to this real critical part. This is like a tool to help you make the cooker so that it meets the engineering requirements to be effective. And it's called a top edge jig, and it helps you determine the size and the shape. It's important to follow the pattern that you have lines, because you're going to be intersecting the bottom to the back piece, and that's really important, especially on the bottom and especially on the intersection of the pieces to the jig or the top design. You'll notice I came outside the line here a little bit on this top edge. Yes. This top edge matches the top edge of the jig, and it will probably not be perfect, but after it's all glued together, then you can cut 2 or 3 pieces and get it just exactly how you want it with this kind of a method. Or you can use a knife and trim it up. But how this is set up is that this will be bent in the proper place here. I think we'll do it this way. And we'll be prepared for the back. Now here we have a piece that will be added after the 2 pieces go and get the first layer on the shell made. The patterns are really critical. It may take up quite a while to build one accurately just from eyeball or from instruction if you don't have a pattern. This is made to make sure that we get the shape of the opening, as you see in this cooker, to be accurate. You also will notice that this top here is not perfectly round. In most cases, except where you're at the equator, the sun is on an angle at high noon, depending on what latitude it is, where your cooker is, what latitude it is. This particular cooker will work well between about 10 degrees north or south latitude up to 25 or 30 degrees. That would need to be altered probably if it was over 35 degrees north or south latitude. Now, the next piece we're going to discuss is the back and side piece. This piece here is altered in a couple of ways. Once the pattern's cut out, you see it has all these notches. These notches are made so this can be bent and bonded to the bottom of this front piece. These notches here are made so that this can be bent in and taped together to form a shape that is not perfectly straight from here to the bottom. It's slightly curved, so when the sun rays hits it, it tends to focus it in a closer focus pattern. Select which side you want to be the outside. In this case, I'm just going to select this one. I'll take this off. Okay. You want to set that somewhere. You want to select, this is the outside and this is the outside. This becomes, these two pieces will become the first layer, and we'll put them together using that jig.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to take regular water. There's nothing special about it. Add a little soap if you want. I wouldn't add very much. That's about it. You see this had some rust in it because I left water in the last time. It shouldn't bother us. So I'm going to take this tray. I'm going to take this sponge and get it wet. Now you don't want to get it soaking wet. You primarily want to wet or get moist the outside surface. So you kind of shake the extra water out of there and you just take it. We say this is the outside. We want this face on the bottom to be pretty straight across here.
So what part exactly is this of the solar oven? I know it's the bottom.
This is the front and the front shoulders. It wraps around.
Okay.
Because it has to wrap around and lap over that, we go like this and bend it, because this will end up lapping over about 3/4 of an inch the back side, and it'll be bonded. Now, if you just watch carefully here, you'll see why this is so important. It won't take long. But we'll take the stress out of this so it will bend like this. Okay. And that's pretty easy to do if the outside, or the bottom in this case, has been dampened. So we will bend this. We start at the edge. About 2 inches on the jig.
Okay.
And we'll have to curve it and tape it as we go so that we can keep it straight.
Make it fit.
Yeah, make it fit the jig. pattern, it's important to match up the center lines. This has the glue on it. With the contact cement, which is here, it's not sticky to touch it by your hand. But if you touch the two together, it becomes very sticky. It's past, a little ways past the top edge, which is upside down. So we take this mark and we push it in right towards that one. Okay? Now this is called a contact cement, or it's pressure bonded. So we start pushing this on like this, and we'll move this around and we'll push it on. We'll go from the center and wrap around from the center. And go this way and wrap it down because it's slightly bended. Go this way and wrap it around. And then we come up like this and put some pressure on it. And we wrap it like this, and up and put pressure on it. That way it bends the cardboard. Remember, the elephant skin's on the inside, all the little wrinkles. So we just push that down here, push it down here. We go like this. Keep pushing. Notice this line is going in the right place. It's important. It stays going in the right place, or at least within a quarter of an inch or a centimeter. Now the front piece. The front piece goes on next. You see it goes over the top of this. And it goes the same way. You have to have a center mark. There's a center mark here. And we'll have to extrapolate because I don't see one here. So we'll measure at equal distance and put a mark. Bottom of this to stabilize it. This will be fastened with these 3 screws right along the front edge like that. It goes through this hardboard into the other hardboard.
Now, do we have a pattern for this to know how to cut this?
Well, this is cut. This is ready-made.
Right.
If you were making one, this could be made out of wood. Most of them are made out of wood. And then this is the back fit, and how it works is that it will set back here, and this will have another piece. I don't have it with me. But this slides up into it and it has notches on it, and it will be back here. And what happens, you'll turn this like this and slide it down and then lock it into place. And as you track the sun, this will walk higher and higher on the back, because this has a straight groove with side notches in it. These 2 units here, this is like a linoleum or a vinyl. This is a vinyl tile. we'll determine where we want to put the yoke, and we'll reinforce this on the inside by bonding these in the appropriate place on both sides. Now, these are supposed to be bonded right straight up off the center of the bottom. We remove the reinforcing material. And basically, we only go through the first layer until this bit penetrates. Now, because this cooker is somewhat flexible, the yolk, in order to take the yolk out, if you desire to, you kind of flex the cardboard and then you can lift it out of the hole.
Pull it out and just pop it out. That's the fundamentals of solar oven making with cardboard, etc.